Welcome everyone to the PJ's Cast. I'm your host Pierce, alongside of my good pal Dylan, and we're recording on back-to-back nights. Yesterday we recorded with Will Scouch. That podcast will pertain more to the Blackhawks in this one because we're actually going to talk about good teams in this podcast, and that's all we're going to do is talk good about good teams in this podcast. Any other NHL news, we'll save that for another time. We're just going to speak
Oh, and
on the
trust me, there'll be
playoffs.
more
So,
news next week with that Connor
oh
Hellebuck
yeah. Oh
nuclear
yeah, there's
blast
plenty.
tonight. Trust me,
Yeah,
we'll
we're
get it,
sitting on a
and by that, oh, sorry, I was about to say by that point we'll get all the exit locker room meetings, so we'll just dive into all of that next week. So yeah, playoff preview. Sorry, I just wanted to
yeah.
make that.
Oh
Because
no,
I was
you're
like,
all good. I
there's
was
been
just gonna
some
say,
gong show interviews, but we just don't have time for it right now.
yeah, I was gonna say there's just a treasure trove of material that we'll get to hopefully sometime next week, and that includes the Hawks, obviously, and there will probably be even more over the next few days and really the next like month or two. We're gonna see a lot of it. Talked about it with Will Scouch, like these next 2 months, whether you're more of a prospect person, it's gonna be fun because there's the U18s and then the Memorial Cup and then the draft, and if you're just a hockey fan in general, really the first round is the best part of the playoffs. I think we've talked about in the past that the product does kind of get what would you call it, watered down, like as it gets to the second, third, especially Stanley Cup final. Like I don't know, like in the past, like really since COVID, like the 2020s, how many classic series there's been beyond the first round? Because usually it's the first round where it's just a bloodbath. And I know, yeah, I think most hockey fans are on board of bring it 1 through 8, but there definitely is an advantage of, especially from like a marketing and TV standpoint, to have it in the first round. But yeah, it is definitely a sugar rush to have 4 games on a night and just be able to flip through all the games, especially at intermission. You can just go to another game. I think tomorrow they have it spaced out, at least like my local time. I think it's 1 p.m. It's the Ottawa Carolina game, and then there's the Minnesota Dallas game at 3:30, and then the Battle of Pennsylvania at 6 o'clock. So yeah, enough rambling. Let's get into the series. Where do you want to start off here? I'll give you the pick of the litter. What intrigues you the most, I guess, or do we want to get the boring series out of the
Get the
way?
boring stuff out of the way. So I can't believe we're gonna start here, but I think we got to start Pittsburgh Philly because I think that might be the least intriguing series to me, which is crazy because it's Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, but I don't know. Um, I just think you look at a lot of these other first round matchups, and I think the story of what the Flyers have done post Olympic break has been fantastic, and Vladar has been under the radar, the best signing of free agency last year for talking about like impact on their team. Him and Ehlers probably like neck and neck in terms of impact, which is kind of crazy when you think about it because Vladar was a goalie that signed for about 3.8 mil times 3, and he's been their backbone. And Tockett's got him playing in a great system, and Porter Martone comes over late and really turns it on. Some of these young guys are turning on as well. I know Denver Barkey's starting to get some more minutes, and obviously Matt Michkov's had his ups and downs with this coaching staff, but
More
at the
like
end of the day, he's
Fatvey Mitchkov, am I right? Or Chudvey Mitchkov, whatever Rick
exactly,
Tuckett calls him. Rick
exactly,
Tuckett.
and they got a great year out of Christian Dvorak, career highs from him. Trevor Zegras bounced back like I think everyone thought he would. The talent was too good there for it not to, and it's a team that on paper doesn't look scary, but if they play their style of hockey, can make some noise. But at the end of the day, like we talked about Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago, like they have 14 players with at least 30 or more points. Like that's just they're so deep. They're so deep. And granted, like regular season is different than playoffs, but at the end of the day, the thing that separates the two teams is the high end talent. And I trust Crosby more than I trust anyone on that team. And Crosby's got a chip on his shoulder right now. Malkin's been playing great. Russ has been playing great. We're getting great years out of guys like Mantha and Chinikov. And I mean, Ryan Shea has 30 points. Parker Wotherspoon has like 25 points. And like these guys are putting up
30.
great defensive. Yeah. Erik Karlsson was
Hmm.
arguably the best defenseman after the Olympics, in my opinion.
Unk still got it. Not even Unk. It's just Eric Carlson. He's good.
Yeah, there's a lot to like there. And at the end of the day, that high end talent puts them over Philly for me. I know, and at the end of and honestly, like their goaltending got better. They have Stuart Skinner. He's proven in the playoffs that he can produce, and that's been the reason the Penguins haven't gotten out of the first round the last couple years. So my first prediction is I think Pittsburgh's going to handily win this series in 6. I'm not going to say it's going to be like 2018. It's definitely not going to be like 2012. I'll tell you that much. But
No, I think that's what everyone kind of has in their mind, and that series was such a crazy series. I think I think there was a game where Philadelphia got more than 10 goals. I can't remember. I would have to look it up, but it was an insane series, and I think we were talking about there potentially being a battle of Pennsylvania in the first round. Like the last time they met it was 2012, and I think a lot of people forget about 2018. It doesn't feel the same with Claude Giroux not there, but I still think it could be a fun series to watch. Um, yeah, with the Flyers, unbelievable turnaround before the Olympics. They it just looked like they did not have it, and I wonder what Flyers fans are thinking now because a lot of them were very frustrated with the management and the head coach. Doesn't that sound familiar? And they just really turned it on down the stretch. Travis Konechny led them with 68 points in 77 games, and you brought up Trevor Zegras earlier, 67 points in 81 games, and I know we often talk about the Blackhawks, so you couldn't make that move. Why weren't more teams jumping on Trevor Zegras and taking that chance? Because holy, what a trade that's turned out to be for the Flyers. Yeah, Matvey Michkov, a quote unquote down year, still had 51 points, 20 goals. He could still turn on the playoffs, in my opinion. And yeah, Dan Vladar with 242 goals against average and a 906 save percentage. I think they have the advantage in goaltending, but you do have the magic box with Stuart Skinner in Pittsburgh. And like you said, I think the Penguins have more high end talent and have more talent that has been there and been on deep runs. And obviously, they're not what they once were, but still got Sidney Crosby, Eric Carlson, Brian Rust has had some deep playoff runs. And I just want to shout out the Pittsburgh Penguins pro scouting. My God, Anthony Mantha finally hit his potential as a 31-year-old, 33 goals, 64 points. Malkin still point per game, even though missing time. You still got veterans like Ricard Raquel on the team and Tommy. What was Nashville doing with Tommy Novak? That's 42 points in 82 games. Igor Chinikov has been borderline elite since coming to the Penguins, 36 points in 43 games. Again, not only another trade what the Hawks could have done, but like other teams could have done as well. I think they only traded a second for him. I could be wrong on that, but point is, like they got him for pretty cheap. And Ryan Shea, 35 points, pretty good season as a 28-year-old defenseman hitting into free agency, former Hawks draft pick. Another pro scouting example, Justin Brazeau, 17 goals, 64 games, 34 points, and their draft pick Benjamin Kendall, who I didn't think deserved to go that high, has definitely proved me wrong on that point. Yeah, just going up and down the lineup, so much depth. Parker Weatherspoon, 30 points. Yeah. And even if Skinner's not doing it well enough for them, they can go to Shadloffs as well. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to go with the Penguins in 6, but hopefully it will be a lot more fun than maybe we predict it to be because I think I don't know if the Battle of Pennsylvania is where it once was.
Yeah, and like you said, for Flyers fans, this was the same season where your GM had to come out and say we're not trading Matvey Michkov, and they made the playoffs. So at the end of the day, it's a win for the Flyers in a time in their rebuild, retool. I don't even know how you would like to describe this, but they've had some bumps in the road, and goaltending was the biggest thing. And goaltending's usually what sneaks out of the first round and types of things. So if they're gonna win, it's off of him, and it's off of Pittsburgh getting goalied. But I think there's just too much firepower. Yeah. So
Also, to go low Leafs, Connor Dewar, 30 points, 78 games, 14 goals. So yeah, I just had to throw that in there as well. Like
guy who
the
couldn't
depth they
even
have is really good in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, shout out Kyle Dubas. Like I said, I think I talked to you 2 weeks ago. I think he's my candidate for GM of the year in some essence because like no one had Pittsburgh being second in the Metro. Like that's just the
Nope.
reality of the situation. Like they were like the report last offseason was they were the only team.
They were the only team looking to tank.
Thank you. And they made the playoffs. So I think that speaks wonders of Kyle Dubas. I think Dan Muse is not getting enough credit for what he's done as well. That was a very under the radar pickup for head coach. Like I do think it's kind of funny that a lot of these head coaching moves are in the playoffs the next year. You look at Marco Sturm, you look at him, like we'll get into Marco Sturm in a little bit, but it's just like coaching matters, guys. It does to an extent. Obviously, some coaches have shorter shelf lives than others, but if there's one thing that's been shown this postseason is that coaching matters with every single one of these teams that's made it.
Yeah, it's definitely Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Like, oh, this coach is too tough on us. This coach is too soft, and but then there's the coach that's right in the middle, and everyone can buy it and play that system. And really, it looks like, especially in the case of the Penguins, it's worked out. Flyers, there's a little bit of mixed bag on that, but I mean, Rick Taka did get them to the playoffs. But yeah, in all, I don't think many people had the Battle of Pennsylvania on their docket at the beginning of the year because I think both teams expected them to miss the playoffs, especially the Penguins. So yeah, great story for both teams to make it. But yeah, once again, I'm going Penguins of 6. I'm with you on that.
And I guess you want to dive into the next Metro series then in that case?
Yeah, might as well go on that route.
So this one, I think Carolina and Ottawa. Obviously, I think this is. I told you a couple days ago. I think Ottawa is my dark horse pick right now. Like I'll just be candid. I have them going to the conference final right now. But this series,
same spoilers.
this series is all dependent on goaltending on both sides because Brandon Bussey was incredible this year. Olmark really turned it on late this year, but at the same time, both of these goalies, one, Olmark's never proven it in the playoffs, but two,
no,
they both had an under 900 save percentage this year. So this is going to be one of those series where which goalie has the yips, which one's going to lock in for 6 to 7 games. And because I don't think this is going to be a 4 to 5 game series. The only way it is if Olmark's just a lost cause or Bussy's a lost cause. And that's the reality at the end of the day is it's going to come down to goaltending. And I think it's going to come down to depth. And I'm going to be honest, when it comes to forward depth and defensive depth, Ottawa's got pretty good. They stack pretty well against Carolina, especially down the middle. Like if they want to get creative, you could run 3 centers of Stützle, Cousins, and Batherson to an extent, or Grieg or someone like that. And I don't think Carolina has the centers to match that. They do to an extent, but I don't know how much is Logan Stankoven going to move the needle in that case, or how much like Jordan Stahl is fantastic defensively and has 20 goals this year, but Ottawa's going to have a step on them, and they have a year of experience in the playoffs from last year. They have that bad taste in their mouth from losing to Toronto. They know what it takes to win a round, and they've been one of the hotter teams down the stretch. I'm taking Ottawa, and I'm taking Ottawa in 7. I think it's going to be a bloodbath of a series, and Brendan Moore's going to have his moments, but this is a big series for Travis Green, I think, because there's a lot riding against him, but there's also, if they win this round, I think you have a real shot at the conference final. So obviously you do if you win the round, but it's just, you got to look at what's in front of you. And Carolina's a team that they kind of play with their food. They know who they can beat. And then when they come across someone that they can't beat, they kind of get punched in the mouth most of the time. So I'm curious, but I got Ottawa in 7.
I agree with you. And I was thinking about it in the previous weeks leading up to the playoffs because kind of give some like the advanced numbers, give a reference to the last series. Penguins were 9th in expected goals for rate, while the Flyers were 50 or geez, let me do that again. They were 9th with a 51.52 expected goals rate. The Flyers were 14th with a 50.71 expected goals rate. Now these two teams are number 2 and number 3. Carolina had a 55.89 expected goals per rate, and then the Ottawa Senators had a 54.54% expected goal rate. Jesus, too many numbers, too many words, all that stuff. So maybe I should just stop with that. But yeah, two very great, very well coached teams. I mean, Rod Brendamore has been with the Hurricanes, I think, since 2018, and every year they've won at least a round, I think, since not including the bubble, because I think they lost in the Well, I guess technically they won the qualifying round, but then they lost in round one against the Bruins, I think it was. But regardless, they have been a team that's won the division, been there every year. But the thing with them always is, do they have enough high end offense to really push them over the top, get them to a Stanley Cup final? I think only last year did they win their first conference final game since they won the cup in 2006, and that's 20 years ago now. But no, I was thinking about it a couple weeks ago. Is it crazy to think that Ottawa could be a dark horse team? Because you just look at all the advanced numbers, and it's there. You look at the team on paper; they have the high end talent that I think Carolina doesn't quite have. But it seems like there's so much drama with Ottawa. Or are they going to figure it out? And there was Brady Kachuk stuff, all these injuries they had, especially to their defense, and people like Linus Olmark taking a game off when they're right in the middle of a playoff hunt. Yeah, just a lot of drama, and they were still able to prevail and make the playoffs. And I don't think they're going to be an easy out. And yeah, I agree. I got the Senators in 7. I think it's going to be a very closely contested series, a bloodbath, like you said. But I'm gonna bet on Ottawa's high end talent. Like I love Sebastian Aho. I like Carolina's team, but I don't know if Ottawa's top guys goes off. I think they can match the Hurricanes. And yeah, goaltending on both ends of things are not great because I look at the Hurricanes. They got an 886 save percentage as a team, and then the Ottawa Senators I don't think are much better. Just let me check. Where is it? Oh boy, I should have had this better prepared. But so their goaltending was 881. So if Linus Allmark can get it together, I think the Senators can win the series. But I guess you could say the same for Carolina. If one of Bussy or Kuchetkov, I think, just came back, or Frederick Anderson figures it out, they can win the series. But I'm going to bet on Ottawa's high end talent, and I'm with you. I think they could make the conference final.
Definitely. And then
so I guess we'll just stick with the East then.
Shift gears to the Atlantic, and
which are two very fun series, I think.
Yeah, I think, and I think it's quite poetic that the last playoff series Buffalo played was against Boston, and that's who they get, isn't it?
Was
it
it
the Flyers? Was it the Flyers?
It was the Flyers.
I might be wrong. It might be the year before they played Boston, but still, one of the last teams Buffalo played when they made the playoffs was Boston, and I just think it's a perfect tale of old versus new. And obviously, Boston does have a lot of new pieces. This isn't the same Boston team that your parents grew up with. Blah blah blah. But at the same time, this is a Boston team that's been there every year except I think 2 in Pasternak's time being with the Bruins.
They haven't been bad.
Yeah, they haven't been bad.
Even at their worst, they've been mid.
It's a team that's had trouble getting over the hump, and it's usually due to a lack of depth. I think back to 2024. I think back to 2023. I think back to 2020. 2023 was just they got, they blew a 3-1 lead, but
they just choked it. They straight up choked
it's a team that doesn't get enough slack for how much they choke, if we're being honest. So,
yeah, that 2011 Cup is doing wonders for him. Speaking of 2011.
Yeah. And my thing with Buffalo is it's going to come down to if they have the yips. Because this is a young team, and a lot of this team hasn't been to the playoffs before. You have guys like Byram and Tuck who have been to Cup finals and have had that experience and have been in those situations. But for a lot of these guys, it's going to be the first time they've been put in that situation on that stage. And we've seen it time and time again. That stage can eat you alive if you're not ready for it. You can wrestle the bull by the horns, but that bull could buck you off just as fast. So I'm very curious to see which players step up to the plate. Obviously, there are players with experience. Ryan McLeod's got a little bit of experience as well, but it's just, the big guns, the Dahleens, the Thompsons, they haven't been there yet. And I think that matters. But at the same time, Buffalo is just one of the hottest teams in the league, and their top 9 is so deep, and their top 4 is so good, and they're 3 goalies deep. It's really hard to pick against them, and that's why I'm not picking against them. I'm picking the Sabres. I think they're gonna come in guns a-blazing against Boston, and I don't think, for as good as Boston had of a year, they had a 100-point season. I just think the way their depth shakes up against Buffalo's depth is going to be concerning down the line, especially with the speed factor. I just think Buffalo plays at a pace that Boston doesn't play with. And, I think if Boston was playing Carolina, I think that's a bit more favorable of a matchup for them. But Buffalo might skate circles around them. But like I said, it's a young team. They might have the yips. You take a bunch of penalties against Boston, they're going to make you pay. So I got this one going 7-2. I got Buffalo in 7. I think this is going to be one of those series where maybe Buffalo goes down 2-1 early, kind of gets kicked in the teeth a little bit of a wake up call, and then, they really turn it on and make this a series. So I got Buffalo in 7.
Yeah, again, just I think it's gonna be another highly contested series. The atmospheres are gonna be electric in Buffalo and Boston, like it always is, and yeah, just an incredible story to get back to the playoffs for the first time in 15 years. And I think the Sabres are gonna pull it off. I think they'll ride that wave. Yeah, a lot like you said, a lot of guys are gonna be playing their first playoffs games, especially Tage Thompson, Rasmus Dahlin. But yeah, you have guys who have been there before and played in playoff games, so it's not like they're completely inexperienced. You would think the Bruins do have the goaltending advantage, obviously, with Jeremy Swayman, but I just want to shout out Alex Lyon, who carried the Florida Panthers to the playoffs in 2023. I think a lot of people forget that, and he did that again this year. He had the most games played out of any Buffalo goalies. It looks like they were
Way
pretty
before.
yeah, Lion and UPL were pretty even. I wonder who they go in game one because UPL had pretty good stats too. Like they just got good goaltending finally. They just got good contributions from everywhere, and yeah, I think they have the better forward depth 1 through 12, and maybe the better defensive core 1 through 6. Goaltending not so much, but I think their forward and defense can cover that up. But yeah, Boston, Jeremy Swayman can steal a series, and don't ever want to bet against David Pasternak and Charlie McAvoy. And speaking of pro scouting, like we did with Pittsburgh, Morgan Geeky had 39 goals in 81 games. Pavel Zacha, career year, 30 goals, 78 games, 65 points. Got Victor Arvidsson off the scrap heap from Edmonton, and he came there and got 25 goals, 69 games. Even Eliza Lindholm, not a great contract, but still got 48 points in 69 games. And I think it was the middle stat, Zaka and Arvidsson line was one of the best lines in the NHL this year. Now you got a little bit of youth in your lineup. Fraser Minton had 35 points in 82 games. Marat Kuzadinov was a great pickup for Minnesota. Man, Minnesota could use a depth center like that, but we'll get to that later. 33 points, 77 games. Yeah, and I think they said James Hagens is going to get into game one. He had 1.2 games, so that'll be interesting to watch. And I didn't bring it up earlier, but that's going to be fun watching part of Martone in the playoffs as well. All these young guys from the 2025 class getting their time to go in the spotlights. But yeah, I agree. I don't have 7, but I think Buffalo can take the series in 6 games.
Here's the only thing I'll give Boston. I think they have the best forward. I think they have the best defenseman, and I think they have the best goaltender in this series. But Buffalo
Yeah,
just lacks them with depth. Like
yeah,
maybe you take Dahlin over McAvoy, but like,
yeah. It's a wash at worst.
yeah, like I just think if you want to talk high end talent, Boston still got it to an extent, but also, and they've had the pedigree too. But man, like, and this Buffalo team is full of people who have won at every other stage. I think people haven't realized this. Like, a lot of these guys have won at world championships, they've won at world juniors, like, they've won at every other stage. So they know what it takes to play at this level. So I'm very excited to see how some of these guys play. Like, I'm pumped to see playoff Tage Thompson. I think he could just dominate a tournament like this where the rules are going to cut back a little bit and you're just going to be able to go crazy in the crease. Like, if I'm Buffalo and I'm Lindy Ruff, I am showing him Dustin Byfuglien tape from 2010. That's you in the playoffs. Like, I'm so serious. You need to be in the goalie's face, and the goalie needs to be throwing his arms up, fucking just swearing to God every time that the puck goes in because he can't see fuck all because you're in front of him. Or you get Owen Power to do it. I don't know. You got a bunch of tall guys that can do it.
Chara
That's the best
moment.
part. Oh man. But that's the thing. They're just so deep. So that's why I agree. It's crazy. We're 3 for 3. I think this is where we're going to differentiate, though, this next one. Maybe. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's interesting. Yeah, we haven't discussed our picks, but I think we have a fairly good idea of where we're going. You bring up Dustin Buffalo. Whenever I think of obviously Dustin Bufflin is a huge part of the 2010 team, but whenever I think of Dustin Bufflin, I think of Roberto Luongo doing his poem on TSN, and I forget how it goes, but it was like, Dustin Bufflin, get your fat ass out of my crease. And anytime Bufflin is brought up, I always think of that, and that makes me laugh. And also shout out to Roberto Luongo because he's just a funny guy.
What a lad. What a lad. But
now a back-to-back Stanley Cup champion in Florida. Also, David Pastrnak, 100 points, even though he didn't have the gaudy goal totals like he has in the past, still finished with 100 points.
Just had like 70 assists instead.
Yeah, 71 assists in 77 games. Unreal.
Incredible. He's arguably top 2 winger in the game.
How many wingers do you pick over Pastrnak?
Kucherov? That's it. I think that's it. I really think that's it. It depends on who you can describe as a winger, because you could call Draisaitl a winger, but he's not, in my opinion. He's a center. So, but I take him over Rantanen, and I love Rantanen, but there's levels to this shit, dude. Speaking of levels, Stanley Cup final rematch, first round.
I was just gonna say 2021 Cup final rematch. Let's go.
Oh, I think this is the series I'm most excited for in round 1.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. Like, I think all the series are gonna be fun to some extent, except for Colorado and Los Angeles. But
yeah. And my thing with this with Montreal and Tampa is I think it's gonna come down to 2 big things. One is what's gonna crack first, Jakob Dobish and Jacob Fowler, or the Lightning basically having a makeshift defense for the entire year because everyone's been banged up. And I think the second part of that equation is the coaching. And when it comes down to that, John Cooper's got the edge again. Like, I think Marty St. Louis is taking tremendous strides behind this bench. And obviously he wasn't the one coaching him in the Cup final, but I think it's funny Marty St. Louis is going to coach against the Lightning. That's hysterical.
I didn't even think of that.
Didn't even think about that.
Interesting subplot.
Yeah. So that's interesting against the guy who shipped him out of town, I guess, in the theory. That's kind of funny. But he's done a great job with Montreal, and Montreal is one of the most young, entertaining,
one of the longest tenured coaches. I think he's in the top 5. Crazy.
Sport sucks. But Cooper's done a tremendous job with that team this year, and he's getting so much out of guys that, like, obviously the top guys are incredible. I sent you the thing today. Hagel, I think, is like 3rd in 5-on-5 goals and like expected 5-on-5 goals. He's basically just one of the best 5-on-5 wingers in the game. You have Jake Gensel, who's a power play demon, and then you have Braden Point, who's having a down year but still has like 60 points. Like, it's just. And Anthony Cirelli is, a Selke caliber player, and you still have, Victor Hedman's obviously been going through injuries this year, but don't worry, Darren Radish is going to have his Eric Gustafsson year out of nowhere and just, rattle off 70 points before he gets to do a contract.
But the best part is he's doing it in a UFA year, and he's right-handed, so
good for him. He's going to make 50 mil minimum. But it's some of these guys are getting performances out of. You look at Destois, I think that's how you say his name on their back end, but he's been playing top 4 minutes for them all year and done a tremendous
29
job.
29 points, and he's 27.
Yeah,
pro scouting,
and his analytics are really good. And I think Andre Vasilevsky is the Vezina Trophy winner this year. That's my vote at least. I'm Andre Vasilevsky FC over here. Like, I think someone made the joke, guy could have been a first ballot Hall of Famer 5 years ago, and now he's just, we're just going to add to that pedigree, and I can't even touch the international stage, so it's just like, I'm just going to do all this here in the States. With all that being said, that's why I'm picking the Lightning, and I like Montreal a lot. They're on the cusp. They're going to be good for a long time.
I hate how good they're going to be, man.
Caulfield is the Rocket Richard winner in my mind. The guy had 50 goals with no empty netters. That's like the most beast stat I've ever seen.
Rocket Richard winner.
Yeah, ethical Rocket winner. Suzuki, 100 points. Demon. Demidov, probably going to be a Calder finalist. If Schaefer wasn't beast mode, he probably would have won it this year. Just incredible season out of him. Oliver Kapanen, I don't think got enough credit this year. I think he had 20-ish goals or something of that nature.
22 goals.
Great year from him. Lane Hudson just gets better every year. He's going
to get Norris votes this year.
He should. He was their best defenseman by a country mile this year, and he was driving their offense the last month. Like him and Suzuki and Caulfield, that was the offense. And that's where I get concerned, because I think both of these teams with an age gap, kind of mirror each other in a sense, at least at the forward core.
They're very
Because
top heavy. Yeah,
yes, they are
both
very
sides.
top heavy, and I don't know whose bottom six I like more. And I don't mean that in a good way. Like, I just think both these bottom, like the Lightning's bottom six has turned into what the Hawks bottom six used to be in those last couple years, and they were making those playoff runs where it's just like, listen, we have no money to put down there. Also, doesn't help when you're scratching Oliver Bjorkstrand, who makes like $5 million, but like that's a whole other thing. That's also happening. So, but with all that being said, it's a pedigree thing again, and I just think a lot of these guys, like, I don't even think that Washington team was that good last year, and they punched the Habs in the mouth. Like, they just punched them in the mouth. Granted, Montembeault is in net. That does matter. Like, Dobesh might be able to do it. Fowler might be able to do it. We've seen it time and time again. But if I'm picking anyone to be the guy that goalies the other team in this series, it's going to be Andrei Vasilevsky. So I got Tampa in 6. I think this is one of those that's not going to go 7.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. Just looking at the Habs, top 6 point getters: 26-year-old Nick Suzuki, 25-year-old Cole Caulfield, 21-year-old Lane Hudson, 21-year-old Yuri Slavkovsky had 73 points in 82 games. Unreal. 20-year-old Ivan Demidov and 26-year-old Noah Dobson. They still have some holdovers from when they made the Cup final in 2021. Again, that's so funny to say. They still got Jake Evans, Brendan Gallagher, Josh Anderson, and they also brought back Philip Deneau. So maybe that'll give them the edge. I don't know. But Tampa Bay, yeah, just as good as Montreal's top 6 is, man, it's Tampa Bay, it's Kucherov, best winger in the NHL, like we said, and Jake Gensel, who's been one of the better playoff performers in the last 10 years. Brandon Hagel, I think, is going to show up. And yeah, like that's before we even mention guys like Anthony Cirelli, Braden Point, who have been here and done that. JJ Moser, just what an awesome year he had, 29 points in 79 games. What a trade that's been for both Tampa Bay and Utah. And yeah, Tampa Bay's brought back a couple of familiar faces from when they won 2021. They brought back Yanni Gordon. They got McDonough back again. So yeah, there are a lot of similarities between these two teams. And I think and a player was brought back, but not on the same team. Can't forget Corey Perry as
Oh
well.
my God. Welcome back. Had a spinorama goal this week, by the way.
It's like we never left.
Oh
Speaking
man.
of 2011, when the Sabres last made the playoffs, guess who won the Hart that year? It was Corey Perry.
Corey
I'll
Perry.
bring that up.
What a time.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of similarities, but I mean Andrei Vasilevsky. It's a, with all due respect to Fowler and Dobesh, and maybe they go Carey Price mode, but or Yaroslav Hawk mode for that matter.
more Halak than Price, but
Yeah. But yeah, I got Tampa in 6, just like you. I think we're pretty much.
Yeah,
like
we've
the
actually
same
had
picks.
exactly the same picks the whole way through, like down to the games. So hopefully we're different at some point. I think the Pacific is where I'm going to be different from you. But
It's that meme of that guy stepping out of the line, just making sure I'm not different. That's us right now.
the Pacific, I think we're completely different. So,
oh, okay.
let's start there because I've been cooking up something because I will say I originally made this with Vegas winning the cup because I just think like with Torts it could happen. But
That's a shot in the arm they need.
here's the thing. I didn't realize how good Utah has been against them this year. Utah stacks up surprisingly well.
Couldn't be our hockey team, am I right?
Yeah, couldn't be us. Imagine losing to Utah. Couldn't be me.
Not my
but
Chud franchise. Thank you very much.
listen, that Gunther line is one of the best lines in hockey. If that second line can figure it out, they have a top 6 that can go with Vegas' top 6. And I know the star power on Vegas' defense is better, but don't sleep on Utah's defense. And I'm taking Vejmelka. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm taking Vejmelka over whoever's starting in net for Vegas. And I think that's the difference right there. I think there's a steadier presence in net for Utah. And if Utah could play a structured amount of hockey, we have seen Vegas play with their food time and time again. And I just think this is a year where, yeah, they've rattled off a bunch of wins with torts, and like that could lead them to a cup, and it could be one of the funniest stories ever. Um, but I don't know, man. There's something about this Utah team. They've been comfortably sitting there for. It really reminds me of the Rangers in 2017, where they kind of knew what they were going to be playing the whole time, and once they got into that first round, they just, they spanked around. Who did they even play around one that year? That was in the Atlantic, right? Oh man,
I don't remember.
my brain is not where it needs to be to remember those types of games. I just remember they lost to Ottawa in round two. But
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, didn't they lose to Ottawa though?
Montreal, that's who it was. They
Oh
played Montreal,
yeah,
and that was a Montreal team that
yeah.
was, granted, not like Vegas. Vegas has a ton of playoff experience, but also I'm not gonna pretend like Vegas has been this demon the last couple years. Like they got punched in the mouth by Edmonton last year. This is a team that did not even technically get above 500 this year. This isn't a great hockey team, and I think if
Disgraceful. Less than 40 wins in the division winner.
yeah, and I think Utah's gonna. I think if Utah's playing, if they steal one early in this series, I'm taking Utah in six. I'm taking Utah in six. I don't care. I know I'm going to be wrong. I need an upset. And I just think if Vegas lost in round one, it would be something.
Fireworks.
God, the amount of bullshit that would happen this offseason if Vegas got a round one exit after all this crap, be perfect for the Hawks, honestly. But yeah, the more I've been thinking about it while I've been doing this pod, I've changed my pick. I'm picking Utah.
We're so far we're 5 for 5.
Shut the fuck up.
Just,
no way.
Dude,
no way.
We're just the same brain right now. I have been on the Utah FC the whole season. I predicted them to make the playoffs, and they did. I am so envious of their team and how they're built. I mean, I've always thought the same of Vegas. I think this is going to be a very, very fun series to watch. I think it's going to go 7 games, but yeah, I think Utah is going to pull this out. I just think that, well, what for one thing, ethical team, the only team I think in the cap era to go a whole season without going in a shootout. So I got to tip my cap to
Beast
that.
mode.
And on the other side of it, Vegas won less than 40 games, and I think they have like 8 wins of overtime losses.
Clowns.
Yeah, like from a pure narrative standpoint, I would love Utah to beat Vegas just so Vegas could maybe blow it out this offseason. Yeah, Vegas has been way better under John Tortorella, even though I think it's been 8 or 9 games. Like I don't even think it's been 10 games with John Tortorella, but he's so far given them the shot in the arm they need, and they've gotten better goaltending down the stretch. I also just can't have Carter Hart win them a playoff series. Like we can't have that happen. Just a lot of underperforming from Vegas' top guys, and again that switch
They're
can be
power play
flipped.
merchants. The
Yeah,
team's a bunch of power play merchants. That's what they are. And guess what? You don't get a lot of in the playoffs.
yeah. I just yeah, Vegas has the experience and they do have the names, but it's kind of like Buffalo in a way with me. With Buffalo against Boston, I just think that Utah has so much more depth on forward and has the young talent that I just Vegas I don't think has. And Clayton Keller, I think he played
Clay
a
Keller?
playoff. I think he played playoff hockey with them in 2020 when they're still the Arizona Coyotes, but this is
He
going
did.
to be his first time playing actual playoff hockey, and I think he is going to love that. Same with Nick Schmaltz, played in 2017 when his team could only score 3 goals in 4 games. Like that's a completely different NHL, like a completely different times now. Biggie Schmaltz is gonna get his time in the spotlight, and then yeah, just all these young players, Dylan Gunther, Mikhail Sergachev has been there, done that. JJ Paterka on the other end of that trade, he'll still get to play some playoff hockey. I don't know if Lawson Krause has been to the playoffs. Well, I know Logan Cooley hasn't, but yeah, I'm always been a fan of Utah and how they built their team and their young superstar talent. I'm with you. Once again, I'm going to pick them to win in 7 games, and I hope they do because holy shit, like Utah could blow it, or Vegas could blow it up, and just any John Tortorella quotes after them losing will be golden. I know that.
Yeah, that Connor Hellebuck to Vegas trade's gonna hit like crack in the 80s when that happens. Like, it's not even funny. Like,
Dude, just get
Vegas
the whole
to
U.S.
Florida.
Olympic
At
team.
this
It's gonna
point,
be
it's
them in Minnesota.
I said Florida. Like,
Oh. Whoa.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
But
that
yeah, that's one of the more
overall pick.
intriguing series, and I don't know how many people are going to catch it because it's late night on the East Coast. But like, you get time to watch a Vegas Utah game. Every time I caught a game this year between those two teams, it was electric. So it's a lot of speed, like two different play styles. Utah loves to play with speed; they love to play with pace. Vegas is going to grind you down, and they're going to beat you on the half wall. And guys like Mark Stone are just going to crush you. Like, they're built so stylistically different. I'm very curious because at the end of the day, this could be a series that's built for Jack Eichel to just take over because I don't see a player that can shut him down in essence. But it takes two to tango. And if Jack Eichel's not going to get up, then we got some issues. But if Jack Eichel gets up, Vegas can easily win this series. But also, it's goaltending. It's more than just one guy. Yeah, I'd argue it's my most intriguing series outside of the next one.
Anaheim, Edmonton.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very fun one too. First of all, we're just all blessed that it's not another Edmonton LA series. Oh my god,
No more
4 years in a
terrorism.
row. That's enough. It's like the picture of George Bush. It's like in the background, mission accomplished. That's us right now. No more Edmonton or LA.
But yeah, so with Anaheim Edmonton, I'm picking Anaheim. And I think this might be where we actually differentiate because I think you probably have Edmonton winning the cup this year.
No, but I did pick Edmonton.
But here's where I picked Anaheim because I did want to pick Edmonton really bad with the way McDavid's playing, and
it could go either way. I think it's going 7. I think this is a 7-game.
I agree. This is just like 2017. This series is going to go 7.
That's
going to be back and forth. There's going to be a game where Anaheim drops 8. There's going to be a game where Edmonton drops 8. It's going to be one of those series. But at the end of the day, I trust Coach Quenneville in a 7-game series a lot more than Chris Knobloch at the moment. And I know Chris Knobloch has earned his right to be trusted with these last 2 playoff runs, but if that series is tied 2-2 going into game 5, I trust Quenneville to make the adjustments and not Knobloch. And to Quenneville's credit, he's going to have more depth to make those adjustments. Like, Edmonton has a very specific style that has to work. And it does work. It has worked the last 2 years. It took them to a cup final. They play a very surprisingly structured defensive style in the playoffs.
They can lock it down when they need to. I don't think they give enough credit for that.
Exactly. But at the same time, I don't think in the playoffs, the only time they've played a team with this physicality and speed, I would say, is probably Florida. Because if Anaheim's firing on all cylinders, they can play like a Florida. They're big, they're nasty, they can skate hard, and they're going to knock you off your position every time. And then on top of that, they got puck movers on the back end that can skate like the wind. So it's just, I think the way they're built can give Edmonton some headaches. Like, I'm going to put, like, while I'm talking about this, I'm going to pull up Anaheim's daily faceoff because I'm actually curious what their lines are right now. But you just look at some of the talent that they've had on this team. Like, their top 3 point getters are under 23 years old. They're having a youth renaissance finally in Anaheim. Leo Carlson takes the step. Okay, here we go. So, like, here's their third line right now, Pierce, just for context. Mason McTavish, Ryan Paling, and Cutter Gauthier. So I don't know what Edmonton's third line is, but Jason Dickinson's going to have a tough-ass assignment, if I had to guess.
So nothing new for him.
I mean, yeah, another day in the office for the lad. But I don't know. I'm just looking at the way Anaheim's lineup looks. They are so deep down the middle. Granlund being healthy just changes that top 12 or that top 9 immensely. And then, obviously, the most underrated pickup at the deadline. I think you said it more than anyone. John Carlson was just an unbelievable pickup at the deadline for them. It's just that their right side before was a very bruising right side. Like, and talk about the experience they're going to have on the right side for this playoff run. You're going to have Jacob Trouba, John Carlson, and Radko Gudas on your right side. Could do a lot worse against Connor McDavid. And all those reasons. And honestly, the second biggest reason outside of coaching, because like obviously I'm naming lineup discrepancies and whatnot right now, but Oilers have the 2 best players Anaheim's got the better goalie. And I do think that matters because, oh my God, playoff Tristan Jarry, I think people have forgotten. Maybe I know
I
Oilers
don't think they're
fans.
going Jar. I think they're going Ingram.
Oh, they're going Ingram? Okay. That changes
Yeah.
things. That does change things. Ingram's been a lot better down the stretch.
To his
I didn't know if
credit,
they were
had
gonna
an
be.
899 save percentage, and that's basically league average now. So
Yeah.
that's all the Oilers
Listen,
need
league
is
average is all
average
they need.
goaltending.
That's all they need.
Yeah,
But at the end of the
all
day,
they've
if
ever needed.
Dostal has been shaky in big games. I will say that, especially this last quarter of the year, he's had a little rough, like post Olympics. I feel like he's had a bit of a rough go. But God, if
Went up an overtime goal to Mitch Marner. So yeah, I'm kind
Exactly.
of shaky in the big games.
but yeah, I really like Anaheim. I think I've liked them all year. I've said it on the pod all year. I hate that I have to glaze Quenneville like this because I just, obviously there's a lot of things that I disagree with him on right now. But as a coach, there's not
He's
a lot of
such a
guys
good fucking coach, dude.
there's not a lot of guys you wouldn't want behind your bench. Like, there's not a lot of guys you pick over him behind your bench in the playoffs. Like, the only other guy right now in the playoffs is maybe John Cooper, and I'm still taking.
I was
Q
gonna
over
say, I'd argue. I don't know if you do pick
Cooper,
anyone.
Q beat him head to head.
Yeah,
with a worse team, and it was a worse team. I'm not going to hear that. Go look at what that Lightning team looked like back then. They were not bad. They had 2 fucking Vezina Trophy winners on their. Oh, Bishop never won one, but he definitely could have.
Vezina caliber.
Vezina caliber. Thank you. But I digress. That is why I want to pick Anaheim. Now, with that being said, Connor McDavid has a decade's worth of demons to exercise, and they're just the first one in his way. So we'll just see which. We'll see if Devil Magic reigns supreme once again, because we all know he could easily just get 13 points in a series. But every time I've said something like that, like I just always think of 2020, where he had 9 points in 4 games, but the Hawks still won in 3 games out of 4. Like it's more than just one guy. You can't play McDavid 30 minutes a night. If you could, you would. Who's going to step up? And I'm curious to hear who you would think that would be for Edmonton, because I don't have an answer right now.
We have a Connor McDavid. We have a Slater Cuckoo and Ole Mata and Matthew Highmore.
We have an Ian Moore and what's the guy's name? VL or whatever. Yeah.
And Ross Johnson.
Yeah, Ross. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I instantly just went back to 2017, except the roles are reversed now. The Oilers are the veteran team and the Ducks are the young upstarting team, finally making it back to the playoffs after a long while. Then back then in 2017, it was 11 years for the Oilers, and the Ducks, it's first time in 8 years. I picked them to make the playoffs, and I was right. I was rewarded. And yeah, it really could just go either way. And you've talked a lot about the Anaheim end of things. And yeah, the Oilers have the best player in the world with a vengeance right now, especially even more so pissed off that he can win a gold medal. Like, this is just 138 points, 48 goals, 90 assists, just like cartoonish Looney
Down
Tunes
year, by
numbers. Yeah. But he was a power play merchant.
He was really good on the power play. We're not going to pretend like that wasn't true. But he's also fucking stupid 5-on-5, so who cares?
Draisaitl missed 17 games and still had 97 points, and from what I know, he's probably going to be good to go. Evan Bouchard put up 95 points as a defenseman. Don't know if he'll win the Norris, but he'll definitely get some votes.
Doesn't sound like he will. The way those reporters are talking.
Yeah, because he sucks, and that's why he didn't make Team Canada. It does drop off, but a lot of injuries this season with the Oilers. Zach Hyman played only 58 games, but still had 31 goals in those games. He's also money in the playoffs.
Just casually, a 45 goal
pace. Yeah, Ekholm had 41 points in 82 games. I did not know
36.
that. There are 3 players that I think we need to watch for the Oilers, and that is Matthew Savoy, who scored a hat trick against the Canucks in his final game, who's really picked it up down the stretch, especially with a coach like Chris Knobloch, who doesn't play young players like that. Vasily Podkolzin is also another name, 37 points, 19 goals, and Jack Roslovic had 21 goals in 69 games. Yeah, maybe the depth isn't quite there, but man, yeah, just again, they have the high-end talent. It's a matter of do you want to pick the team with all the depth, or if you want to pick the team with the best like high end talent there is in the world. And I think it could go either way, but I think the Oilers are just gonna sneak it out in 7. But to I guess refute a earlier point, I don't think they're gonna make it. I don't think they're gonna win the cup. I don't even think they're gonna make it the cup finals this year. We'll
Ooh.
talk about that in these last 2 series.
I will say one last point, and I was looking up like analytics after the deadline and kind of just seeing differences in teams and whatnot. Connor Murphy has unlocked Darnell Nurse in being a shutdown defenseman since he's gotten there. Shocker, Connor Murphy's made his defensive partner better. Tale as old as time, fork found in kitchen, like awesome. Like, but one of the most like underappreciated defensemen. Whenever like any team that has him, you're gonna love him because I don't think he'll ever come back to Chicago, unfortunately, but he's gonna be beloved wherever he goes. But the fact that like shit, if he's gonna fix Darnell Nurse, you might have to extend him. You might have to extend him in Edmonton because if Darnell Nurse is competent, you can't ask for much more. Like
Dude, they found the Nurse Whisperer. You got to keep them.
The Nurse Whisperer is fucking Con Murph. That's so crazy. Also, shout out Colton Talk turning it up a little bit, playing well in that fourth line with Szymanski. I've been watching some of those games. He looked pretty good.
He had 2 goals last night, I think.
He's been turning it on. Like, and I know he got hurt, like, or he was hurt when he got there, and he's found a spot on that fourth line. So I know I was laughing when we heard the War Room talking about it, but I mean, we always knew Doc had a spot on the fourth line. It's just you gotta find.
Oh, I'm sorry. He had a goal and an assist. My bad.
Oh no, 2
fake
points.
news me over here.
We can take those, But yeah, it's funny because like you look at the Metro and it's just like, all right, well, you got to eat your vegetables, and then you just get to every other division and your eyes just widen like you're at the casino. Like, oh my god, and then you get back to Edmonton and LA. Get out of here, scram! Except you.
You can stay. And that's me with Minnesota and Dallas because this is probably going to be the
cream of the crop.
Yeah.
It's your Boston, Toronto. It's your Chicago, St. Louis. It's your, it's the one ridiculous round 1 matchup that we should not be getting. But
it should be a conference final, but one of these teams is going to go out in the first round. Yeah.
I want to hear your take first on this because I know I've gone first most of this. I'm curious because I don't know if we're on the same page with this one, but I'm curious what your take is on the series.
I think I have bought into this being Dallas's year. Like, I mean, I've said it so many times on the podcast. They've done everything but win the cup. This team is so well built. They had 50 wins, and like if Colorado didn't get off to an insanely good start, I think it would be like they would be the President's Trophy winners, and they would be able to have the cakewalk in the first round. That is LA, but instead you gotta play Minnesota. But as contested as I think it's gonna be, like I think all the games are probably gonna be 1-goal games. I think we're gonna see a lot of overtime games in here. I think the Stars take it in 6 games. Like I don't want to be I'm gonna be a Wild hater. Like I like everything about their team except for their center core. I just cannot get past that. I just can't. Maybe they win a round. They might even win a couple rounds, but they're not winning a cup with that center core. Sorry. I've been saying it since day one. I think they addressed everything but the center core. And not to take away from Dallas because they have an insane team, and Mikko Rantanen is one of the best playoff performers in recent memory. And a lot of guys had off years or off playoffs, and they still made it to the third round. No more Stuart Skinner in your way, by the way, and that's been like their kryptonite.
Yes. Let's wait till they get to
yeah.
Sidney Crosby and Stuart Skinner staring you down the line.
Yeah. Not so fast, yeah. But I think they just got everywhere covered. They got the depth. Thomas Harley, I know, had a bit of a down year. Like I expect him to step up and have a very good playoffs. I think their Achilles heel on their team is their right side, but you're going to get Heiskanen back playing that right side in half the game, so I don't think that matters too much anyways. And hopefully Jake Onger's got to have a Andre Vasilevsky year where he just shuts the door and lets nothing in because he is so capable of doing that. He did it against Calgary in 2022. We almost led them past Calgary, and he's kind of let them down the last couple of years. So I think he's due to have a great playoffs. And then with him going and the offensive talent, like superstar and depth that they have, and their horses on the defense, it's got to be their year.
Yeah, and I agree. I got Dallas as
But
well.
counterpoint for Minnesota, I think they have the best defenseman in that series, and you might argue they have the best forward with Kaprizov. Like I do want to give my flowers to Kaprizov and also Matt Boldy, who might just be the most like I don't even know underrated player in the NHL. He's just so good. And they do have the two goalies to get done. I think I saw Wallstedt's gonna be starting game one. So that'll be interesting. I think the moment like if what they do lose, they'll probably go back to Gustafson. But yeah, I got Dallas in 6 games.
Yeah, I got Dallas in 7, and I think
It can very much go 7. Like it's not gonna be a short series.
I just look right now with the way Minnesota's bottom 6 is set up, and they I gave them credit with the way I saw the vision to an extent of what they're trying to do. It's basically we have our high end talent. We're going to score our goals the way that we score our goals with our top 6, and then we're going to beat the shit out of you with our bottom 6. And that's a fair strategy, but it really hasn't worked for a lot of teams outside of Florida. And the thing with Florida is they scored while they beat the shit out of you. So there's you have to do that part as well. And I don't think that bottom 6 can do that necessarily. Like, I'm glad Nick Foligno's getting playoff games. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But, like, let's put it this way. I think one of the most, like, we talk about under the radar deadline pickups, and, like, I just brought up John Carlson, which is a little more big, but, like, honestly, the most underrated one was Michael Bunting because I think people forget Michael Bunting becomes a different animal in the playoffs. Like when he doesn't get suspended, this guy has always been a very good playoff performer. And you're going to have him on your third line with a guy like Jamie Benn, who has always been a solid playoff performer. And you've split up the talent to where you have Robertson on one line, you have Rantanen on the other line, and then you get Jamie Benn on your third line. I don't think Minnesota has something that can counter that. Like I was looking at Minnesota's forward core, and like there's stuff to like, but I'll be honest, they got 4 forwards that are probably going to actually be legit difference-making like point getters in this series. You have Kaprizov, you have Eriksson Ek, you have Matt Boldy, and then you can toss between Tarasenko and Ryan Hartman. Like Dallas, I think, is deeper on a different level, but at the same time, I think the biggest key to this series is Heiskanen because I know he's on the fence for game 1, but like that Dallas defense looks completely different without Heiskanen, and I think Esa Lindell has not gotten enough credit for the minutes that he's playing. Like, I think I saw something from Jay Fresh today. No one has played better minutes against tougher competition than Esa Lindell as a defenseman this year. So it's just, there's so many slept on aspects of their game. And one thing that is also isn't getting talked about is Jake Ottinger was heating up before the playoffs. I think he had 2 shutouts in his final 6 or 7 games. And if he, like you said earlier, if he could have an Andre Vasilevsky type run for them, this is their Capitals year. This is their 2018 Caps year. This could align. The stars could align for them finally.
Stars.
Funny. There's the joke. But Minnesota, like, there also is a world where if Dallas gets in penalty trouble, they're just going to fucking make them pay on the power play. Oh, my God. Like, Hughes, Boldy, Kaprizov is not fair on the power play. Every time I watch the Wild and they get set up in the offensive zone and those 3 are on the ice, someone is wide the fuck open for a one-timer constantly. And it's just because they know where they're going to be. They know the quiet areas on the ice, and it's 3 of the best players in the sport. And it's just – I can't see a world where this doesn't go 7. The only world I think it doesn't go 7 is Minnesota's goaltending just can't figure it out. But Dallas, I gotta take Dallas. I mean, I've done the smart thing and not picked them to win the cup this year because every year I do, they don't. So I'm not picking them this year, but I still would like to see the Stars do something because I've loved like the way you feel about Utah is the way I've always felt about Dallas. I've loved the way they've constructed their team over the years, and the fact that they had the wherewithal to be like, oh, wait, Mikko Rantanen's out of the conference and we can get him now. Bet, watch this. Just jump right in, scoop him up, trade all the picks that you need because who cares if you traded 3 pick 25s for 8 years of Mikko Rantanen. So, yeah, I got Dallas.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone in your franchise and your fan base will hate that.
Also shout out Maverick Bork, 23 goal season, I believe. Like just very underrated year. Gonna be an RFA, probably gonna get a nice little payday. Was
20
a guy that
goals.
really never
Yeah,
got his
still
minutes
very good
until
season.
yeah, but like this is the thing with Dallas. Like Dallas can lose a Mason Marchment, and then Maverick Bork hops in the top 9, and then they already get that problem fixed. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try. But their third line center, I believe, has 15 goals this year, so he's been doing a very well job. 25 years old, out of the AHL. I don't know how to say his name. It's something with an H. I'm not even
Okay,
gonna.
I am on Hockey Reference. Justin. Okay, it's Justin Ritzkovian.
Ritzkovian. There
Justin
we go.
Ritzkovian.
Ritzkovian
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a yeah.
Ritzkovian. Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
14 goals, 81 games. Yeah,
Yeah, but a great year from the and I think he was a rookie. So and he was playing bottom 6 minutes.
yeah.
So like that's the stuff that Dallas does best. Sam Steele, top line player now, was on the 4th line for most of this tenure in Dallas. That's also Sam Steele revenge series question mark. Minnesota Wild legend.
I'm like, didn't he? Wasn't he drafted by the Ducks originally? I forgot he played for Minnesota. Yeah,
But
in 22-23, he was on the other end of it. I think when Dallas beat them.
yeah, it should be a fun series though. I'm very excited, and it's I think one of the first ones tomorrow if I recall correctly. So
Yeah,
should
yeah.
be good. Should be good. I'm excited.
You bet. Holy shit! I did not know Wyatt Johnson had 45 goals this year.
Look at how many were on the
I
power
need.
play.
Okay, that's why. Yeah, 27. Still, I
You want to
mean,
share with the class how many goals he had on the power play?
yeah. What's that's still crazy, and yeah, Jason Robertson, just one of the best wingers in the NHL. Yeah,
Trade your first round pick for him. I'm so serious.
I would trade all my first round picks for him, and like
Top
best
10
prospects
NHL
probably.
scorer since he's gotten in the league, basically. Like that's the funniest part too. It's Robertson versus Kaprizov, 2021 Calder run, round 2, baby.
I was a Robertson truther right from the start, and well,
Yeah, you were always a Robertson truther.
Kaprizov, yeah.
I was
Kaprizov
the
won
guy
that
that was like,
round.
that Kaprizov contract's going to be worth it when he signed it in 55 games. And everyone was like, I don't know if you give a guy $9 million on 55 games. And it's like, have you watched the points he's getting? The guy's skating circles around the world. Like, just give him whatever he wants.
And they did.
Oh, they did. And they rightfully so did, because holy smokes, that guy's electric. He's the best winger. And that's probably number 3 for wingers, for being honest. We were talking about wingers in hockey.
Top
Probably goes
5.
Kucherov, Pasternak,
Yeah.
and then Kaprizov. If I had to guess. I mean, I don't know who else you'd probably throw. Like Rantanen maybe, but like, oh my God, Kaprizov is unbelievable. Playoff-wise, Rantanen. But hey, Kaprizov can change the narrative. I know Quentin Hughes is a damn good playoff performer. Also, another story that we're not really talking about. We're getting Hughes versus Miro Heiskanen, or not Hughes versus
Very
Heiskanen,
good matchup.
Hughes versus the Wild again. Or I'm all over the place.
Stars?
Sorry, Hughes.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. All I want to say is Quentin Hughes is a very good playoff performer. That was the whole point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
So disregard everything I said. I'm very excited to watch Quentin Hughes on this team, and I just, I think he was over an assist a game since he got traded to Minnesota. Completely changed that team overnight. And
yeah,
some of the quotes from Rutherford in the post game or the postseason presser were damning. Let's just put it that way. He was like, "We always knew he was going to leave." Like, okay, whatever helps you sleep at night. But
yeah.
he's gonna.
Jim Rutherford doing his best. Your brother Billy, whatever happened there, and just enraging Canucks fans everywhere, but also to the delight of everyone else. Like that's just every press conference. Like just like your brother Billy would have happened there, and like just dropping this grenade and like pissing your whole fan base off. Yeah, Quinn Hughes and 48 assists in 48 games, 53 points. Yeah, just ridiculous. Also, Vlad Tarasenko still had 23 goals in 75 games. I wonder which team traded him away and could have used his extra goals to maybe get to the playoffs for the first time in a decade.
Also, the same team that didn't want to trade Marco Casper for Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, and apparently, there was a sense in the Devils' locker room that they didn't want to have 3 Hughes players there, so there's that as well. Yeah, I think it was a Freach thing.
Okay.
Like he said that on 32 Thoughts. Again, we're gonna have we're gonna be we could
We're gonna
probably
have
do
a
a
field day
3-hour
next week. Oh my God.
podcast. Yeah.
Ooh.
All this to like delay from the last series, which is gonna be the most boring series because it'll like LA is just gonna try to trap it up, but I think Colorado is just gonna destroy them. And if they don't sweep them, then my estimation of the Colorado Avalanche is fucking plummeted. I'm going Colorado in 4. I don't know how much analysis you want to give to this series, but
I kind of want to give it some analysis because I see a world where the Kings can win a game or two in this. I really do.
yeah,
Unfortunately, like Colorado has
unfortunately,
not been a great team since the Olympic break. They've been an okay team. They
no.
haven't been a great team, and we've seen it time and time again. If it's Kemper, Forsberg, if they're stopping pucks and they get one break, like I think the Edmonton game last week describes how LA is going to win a game or two. Panarin's going to get a breakaway. He's going to pot one, and then you're not scoring for the rest of the night. That's
It's like
just how.
2017 Ottawa Senators, like get your one goal and 1-3-1,
Listen,
and that's it.
win the way you got to win. Whatever. You shouldn't even be in the playoffs to begin with. Like you're playing with unbelievable house money. This is like when
They
best way
have
I can describe this is
10
when
wins of overtime losses.
dude, best way I can describe this is when Pittsburgh got the 7 seed off of like a tie and then it was Ben Roethlisberger's last year as quarterback, and he couldn't throw the ball worth a damn, and he made the playoffs in his last year because of basically an unimaginary seeding and a team fucking up a tie to make the playoffs. So that's kind of how I look at the Kings right now. A team that is destined to lose round 1, and if they don't, that either means Artemi Panarin went apeshit or Darcy Kemper had a 960 save percentage. Round 2 is where Colorado is going to meet their maker again.
And from the looks of it, I don't even think the Kings are going to go Darcy Kemper. I think they're going to go Forsberg because
Even better.
Kemper's got an 891 and Forsberg's got a 909. So I think they're going to start him. I guess they would, but maybe they do go Kemper. Maybe he knows a thing or two about his former team.
That's true. Yeah, Kemper's room of his like former jerseys has to be crazy.
Yeah, Arizona, Colorado, Washington, LA,
Minnesota.
yeah, Minnesota. Yeah, that's right, Minnesota. Yeah, I don't really, I don't know much to say about LA. I'm just looking at their forwards. Adrian Kempe is great. We know that 73 points, 81 games. 36 goals, and then it just drops off. Quentin Byfield, 49 points, 79 games. It doesn't help that Kevin Fiala is out. Panarin was point per game since he got them, so maybe he could be an X factor, but I just can't. I can't even twist myself into a pretzel and try to be like, yeah, LA's going to win this series. I just think Colorado is better everywhere.
They have to get goalied. That's literally what it would have to be. They'd have
Yeah.
to get goalied. That's the only way that LA wins this series. And even then,
And
Colorado has 2 goalies they can throw in. Like,
I think they're going to go Wedgwood because he
crazy.
started more games and he had the better stats than
Should have started for
Blackwood
Team
did.
Canada? Question mark. Just kidding. It was Logan Thompson. But
And yeah, that was the reason why they lost was goaltending, and not the fact that a certain
Not the
guy
fact
missed
that
a
they
wide
missed.
open net and led the NHL in goals. Yeah, like all the
By the
more
way, Jordan
reason
Binnington,
if
worst statistical goaltender in the NHL this year.
and
He's
not
such
even
an
the reason
enigma,
they
bro.
lost.
He's such an enigma. Oh my gosh.
Nathan McKinnon, 53 goals, 127 points.
Not my Rocket Richard winner.
Nope, unethical. 100 points for Marty Necas. Good for him.
Decent.
Man, okay. What a year for Brock Nelson, man. When they made that trade, I was so unsure of it. I was like, maybe I think they should have kept Richie and have a cheap option there, but no,
Ethical
he
gold
is.
medal winner, by the way.
Yep. 33 goals and 81 games, 65 points as a 34-year-old. Like, and I'm gonna be interested to see Gabe Landeskog back in the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. Brent Burns
I didn't even think
is
about
the
that
ageless
shit.
wonder, still playing, had 35 points.
Burns versus
And
Kopitar one last time. Oh my god, get excited. Let's go.
Burns versus Doughty. Welcome back,
Holy
2016.
shit. Let's go. Bro, why couldn't they trade for Taves? Holy shit, we could have had the auction going on in the playoffs. Oh man.
Crazy.
Actually, no, the Avs should have got Corey Perry. Would have been even better. Let's just have the California reunion in the first round. Joe Thornton got room for one more.
Yeah, Ryan Getzlaff. Do you guys need a hand? Just the fucking Avengers. Oh my god. But yeah, Colorado in 4. But all that to say, to make a long story short.
If it's not in
it's
4, like they're losing in round 2. Like there's never been a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, you have to do what you did in 2022, where I think they swept Nashville when they had to, because Nashville was such a pathetic team. Well, that's our round 1 predictions. We're well over an hour now. Do you want to just like speed run what we think the rest of the playoffs are going to go like?
Yeah. Let's fire away.
Do you want me to go first, or would you like to go?
I would like you to go first. I'm curious to see who you have winning the cup, because I thought it would be Edmonton.
No, I changed my mind. So
I let free will take over.
I will say this. I am always a sucker for Stanley Cup final rematches, so just keep that in mind as I go over the picks. So recap my picks in the West. I have Colorado in 4, Dallas in 6, Utah in 7, Edmonton in 7. I got Dallas over Colorado, and then I got Edmonton over Utah. Though Utah and Dallas would be a fun conference final. And then in the conference final, I have Dallas finally beating Edmonton because Stuart Skinner is gone. But might they face them in the cup final? We'll see. We'll go to the East. I got Buffalo in 6. Again, just to recap, the Lightning in 6, Ottawa in 7, and then the Penguins in 6. In the second round, I got Buffalo riding the wave and beating Tampa. I got Ottawa beating Pittsburgh. Welcome back. I think 2007. We got Buffalo and Ottawa in the conference final. And I have the Buffalo Sabres beating the Ottawa Senators, which, if you listen to what I said earlier,
I did.
Speaking of 2007, we're going to go back to 1999. And unfortunately, I have the same fate. Dallas over Buffalo, and Conn Smythe winner Mikko Rantanen.
Oh, I'm going to be so honest. I thought you had the exact same one as me, and I was about to be like, you have to be kidding me right now. No, I love that. That's awesome. I love that you have Buffalo going to the cup final. That's awesome.
Why not? Let's have fun with this. Like, this is such a wide open year, by the way, with no Florida. Like,
I know. And that's kind of why I was like, at least one of these divisions is going to get fucky. So I just picked the Pacific to get fucky. And so obviously with mine, I had with the Central, I had the Avs in 5, and then I had the Stars in 7. And then going into the Pacific, I had Utah in 7. And then I had Anaheim in 6. Utah in 6, Anaheim in 7. Can't talk. All mixed up. Gets to the same point. Round 2, I got Anaheim beating Utah in 6. I think this is going to be one of those crazy runs from this Anaheim team. I think they're so much better in experience.
Hey,
I think they can get there.
You know what Coach Q did in his first full year at the Hawks?
Conference final.
We got to the conference final.
Yep. And then I think Dallas is going to punch Colorado in the mouth in 6. And I mean, like, yeah, it's going to be 6, but it's going to be one of those 6s where, like, they went up 3-1 and Colorado got a pity game 5. And Dallas just puts them away, because I just don't think we've seen it. We've seen what they do head to head in a 7-game series, and I'm not taking Colorado over them. It just won't happen. It just won't happen. And then I have Dallas beating Anaheim and ending the Linsanity run. That series, I think it would go to 6. I just think this Anaheim team, like, if you catch them on a bad night, they'll drop 5 on you. Granted, they'll give up 5 if you catch them on a bad night or catch them on a good night, but it's one of those teams where, man, if Q just presses the right buttons with those kids, they don't realize how much they can dominate that conference. But at the end of the day, it's tie goes to the veteran, and I think Dallas has been punching at that Cup final since 2020, and they're finally going to get back. And then going to the East, I had Buffalo in 7, I had Tampa in 6 over Montreal, and then obviously Buffalo in 7 over Boston. I had Ottawa in 7 over Carolina, and then I had Pittsburgh in 6 over Philly. So obviously 2017 conference final rematch. Ottawa's going to get the revenge in 7.
Yep.
Ottawa's going to get the revenge in 7 on my end. Even though none of the players are there on that team. And ironically, the one player that would is on the team.
Yeah, Carlson.
Erik Karlsson.
That's right.
That's even funnier. Erik Karlsson versus Sens in the playoffs is even more funny and crazy when you think about it. But Buffalo Tampa, I think, would just be a fucking bloodbath. I got Tampa sneaking out in 7. Buffalo, like every time they've played this year, it's been a bloodbath. And I just don't see it being any other way. Like that game that they had in Buffalo a couple months ago, I think that just gave you a little teaser of what we could see in a 7.
What was it, 8-7? It was crazy.
Yeah. And the conference final, I have Tampa. I think Tampa will just spank Ottawa by that point. I think this is, like I said, I originally had Vegas winning this cup, right? When I made this morning, I was feeling confident about Vegas, and then I just started looking at the bracket. I started looking, and I remember having this conversation with you a couple weeks ago when we were talking on Xbox, and I was like, I don't see anyone in that Eastern Conference that beats Tampa. Like, if Tampa's on their A game, no one's going to beat them. I think this is Tampa's 2015 Blackhawks year. Where, like, yeah, they're getting picked, but, like, everyone's going to pick against them. Watch. You watch when these predictions come out. Everyone's going to pick Montreal. I've already seen it. People are picking Montreal over them. Then they're going to pick Buffalo over them. Then they're going to pick Pittsburgh or Ottawa over them. And then they'll pick Dallas over them. And I think they're going to beat Dallas in 7. And that's going to be a bloodbath of a series because Dallas is not what they were in 2020. Tampa's not what they were in 2020. I'd argue both are better, which is even scarier to think about. And I think we're just going to have a battle of the Titans in the Cup final. And my Stanley Cup final MVP, Nikita Kucherov, finally gets his Conn Smythe.
Nikita Kucherov.
Because I think people forget he didn't get either of the cons. He's kind of in the Crosby spot right now.
Never the point.
So, and rightfully so. Vasilevsky and Hedman deserved both of the ones they got. But yeah, man, I think this is Tampa's 2015 Blackhawks here. I really do. I think it's funny how we're on like two different sides of the coin. Like you're on the 2018 Cap side for the Stars. I'm on the I think the Lightning are about to add a third to their repertoire, and this one's going to be just a little bit more impressive, I think, especially just considering what they've done the whole season, the injuries they faced, the trials and tribulations they faced with the team, the ups, the downs, the injuries. I got the Lightning winning the Cup.
And their rival that has beaten them is not in the playoffs. Sound familiar?
Exactly. The boogeyman's not there, like you said earlier. Hell, I would love to see Tampa versus Edmonton if that's what we're going to lead to. If we're talking boogeyman out of the playoffs, like, oh, man.
Oh, I just meant with the 2015 Hawks. The Kings were in the playoffs that year, and the Panthers are in the playoffs this year. So there's that similarity too.
Just saying. And every time I look at that Tampa team and I watch them, I'm just like, they hit all the right spots when they're playing their best, and they don't have, like you said, Florida's not there. It's like Vancouver if they never had to play Chicago. You know what I mean? Like they don't have the annoying nuisance in their ear. That matters on a cup run. Like I know you want to go through,
go through them.
There. Yeah, well, yeah, everyone would rather go through them, but beggars can't be choosers. And I'll be honest, like if the Lightning don't get out of the first round this year, there will be some questions because they haven't gotten out of the first round since 2023. So, they're starting to lean towards where the Blackhawks were at one point, but I think there's a chance that they can really just steal the show here. Ride the underdog wave. The Philly, and I'm not talking the actual underdog wave. I'm talking like what Philly did in 2017 when they won a Super Bowl, where it's like, hey, we're the best, but like everyone doesn't think we're going to win, so we're just going to be the underdog anyway. Like, oh, we shouldn't even be here. Yeah, okay. Like, keep doubting us. And I know that's how a lot of the teams
gimmick is crazy.
Thinking. But yeah. Yeah, Tampa. Tampa's my pick. Dallas is your pick. I thought you were going to pick Dallas versus Tampa, so that's why I thought that. But Dallas versus Buffalo is so much more electric. I love that. I love that so much. But yeah, it's going to be a fun playoff, man. I'm excited. And it starts tomorrow. Oh, can't wait. Love that the
Basically,
playoffs started on like a Saturday every year. So great.
I love that. I love how they do that. I wish it was done like a little earlier in the month, but you know, all the same, we'll still get to watch some great playoff hockey.
At least this time they're not going to end 3 days before free agency.
Yeah. I think the latest possible date is for Game 7 of the Cup Finals, June 20th, and then the draft is on the 26th. So at least there'll be a few days, like almost a week. Whereas I
little
feel
bit
the
of a
last
week, yeah.
Well, I think in 2024 when it went to Game 7, I think it was the Monday, and then the draft was on the Friday. Well, I guess there's not that huge, but like a day can make a difference at that point. Or no, it'd be 2 days because it'd be the Saturday. But yeah, like yeah.
Do we want to do other predictions for the playoffs? Because I know we've done like who we want to win the cup, Conn Smythe. Like, if I'm gonna throw one out there, I think Colorado might get to 6 or 7 with the Kings. I think Colorado might play with their food a little too much, and it's gonna be shocking to some people because they've been doing it for the last half season. And no one talks about it because they got off to such a hot start. I don't have faith in Colorado right now. And it's crazy because you should on paper and on the ice and with everything that they've done, but I'm going to be the guy that goes to this side. President Trophy's curse is a damn real thing. And until someone proves it otherwise, it is. And most of the time, you don't get out of the second round. And usually it's because you blow your fucking load before the playoffs. Pardon my French. But I feel like that's usually the case. It's you play your best hockey when it didn't matter. I think of that 2019 Lightning team. They played their best hockey in like February of that year. I look at that Bruins team. That Bruins team played their best hockey in November. Like we all can agree on that. That 65 win Bruins team, their best hockey was like December and November. And then they kind of like, they were good still, but they were coasting.
Well, then they lost to the Hawks like 6-3. Wasn't it a Taylor Radish hat trick?
Yep. I almost went to that game too, funny enough.
Weren't the crowd treating like frauds or like yelling out, like calling, like chanting fraud or something?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
I would have been chanting
tried to block that year out, but yeah.
But I just think like with them, I think there's a good chance for a high upset. And then I know we're both high on Ottawa, but it's just like besides them, I don't think there's another. Like, I guess if you really want to get into it, Utah, I guess Utah would count as a sleeper, but I don't look at them as a sleeper. I don't. They're better than every team in the Pacific right now, like on paper, record wise, and every other stat kind of proves it, except high end talent for one of them. But I don't know. I think there's going to be some interesting things that we don't expect. I think the Ducks and the Sens are the teams I'm riding on as the upset teams right now.
Yo, let's go back to 2007.
Back to 2017.
Anaheim and Ottawa Cup final.
Nah, 2017 because I have them both losing in the conference final.
Yeah. So what you're saying is Colorado's going to get swept in the first round and only score 3 goals. All right, let's go.
What a perfect team for it to happen to. Oh my gosh. I kind of need that now. Oh my god. Anton Forsberg, Legacy Series. What? Be the best. I'm going to lose my mind. Both sides of the Panarin trade are going to win them around. I'm going to fucking lose it. Lose it.
Panarin's been on both ends of that with Chicago and then being on Columbus. So how's it going to go the third time around?
Oh my god.
You know what? Take everything bad, like all the trash talking I said about the Kings. I need them to beat the Avalanche. So
I'm telling you, I kind of want to see an Artemi Panarin Legacy Series.
You know
the more I keep thinking about it, I'm like, it'd be kind of great. Like you wouldn't be able to help but laugh. You just wouldn't be able to help but laugh watching it. Ugh. We're gonna find out how mentally fragile the Avs are if they get down 1-0 in this series.
Yep.
Can't wait.
Yep. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun, but I hope we get some entertaining second and third rounds as well, because like yeah, just these last few years with after COVID, I feel like we haven't had those kind of series like we used to. Like thinking
I think
about
Dallas
the
Winnipeg was
oil,
pretty good last year, and Leafs Florida was pretty good.
yeah, but man,
Round
just
two at
thinking
least.
back, Ducks and Oilers in 2017, like
Yeah,
that was such a good series. I feel we haven't had like well, we've had a few series, I think, but kind of few and far between. I would hope we see a little more of that.
me too. Like I, and this is the problem when you get upsets in round one. It usually kills the competition down the line. So it's just like you have to take the good with the bad sometimes. But
Yeah,
I think we're set up to where we're going to get at least a couple banger to round two matchups and at least one good round three matchup.
yeah. Do you have any more thoughts, or we can wrap this up?
Wrap it up. Blackhawks in three. Let's go.
Get excited. They're just gonna be the Undertaker and jump in and win the cup and go 16-0. So yeah, thank you for we still did an hour and a half podcast, but on whenever we do the pod next week, holy shit, are we just gonna be sitting on like a I don't even know what to call it, like just a crazy amount of content we'll be able to go through, and there might be some coach firings or some new GM hirings. So yeah, that's it's gonna be fun again. Like it's gonna be just overstimulating the playoffs and all the news that's gonna come out these next couple months. So yeah, let's get on the roller coaster and ride the waves, and let's have fun here. If you're listening to our podcast, whether that is on Spotify or Apple Podcast or Amazon or Google, give us a 5-star rating. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the podcast or any of the clips from the podcast. So for Pierce and Dylan, take it easy, y'all, and enjoy the cup playoffs tomorrow. It's going to be a fun time.